Alright, back on the track in Close Enough Cooking, a division of Close Enough Engineering. And what we're going to do today is going to be probably okay. Alright, so what we are going to do is we're going to do Ruth Reichel's recipe for Swiss pumpkin. Swiss pumpkin is you cook food in a raw pumpkin. You scoop it out first, you cut off the top, you scoop it out, and then you fill it up. Now, we're not going to fill the entire thing up here because we're not cooking it today. This is going to be cooked, that's right, later. We're giving it away to friends, 4 painters who expect a fine meal, and we're going to give them a pumpkin instead of, no. It's going to be a lovely meal. So, but I want to make the filling, and they get to take that down because in the end, they have to pour the filling over the whole thing and then put it in an oven. So right now, I have started doing a few things. I have put on, we've got a whole baguette here all cut up. And we've made this charming bunch of stuff into, that's right, toast. I'm going to read a recipe, something I don't usually do. But why not? Sometimes I do. In fact, for the corn casserole, which is going to follow this, not a Ruth Reichel recipe, but a fabulous gal named Penny Walden's recipe. She came up with this corn casserole, and it's wonderful. But let's just do the pumpkin first. I think first what we're going to do is we're going to make this sauce thing that tomorrow they're going to have to pour over it. We'll take something that can be sealed, which is this. Calls for 2 eggs, so why not give them 2 eggs? Yeah. I oftentimes use what I call fake eggs, which are egg whites, but this calls for eggs, so I think I'm just going to do eggs. 1½ teaspoons of salt. Well, of course, Close Enough Cooking calls for not measuring. I mean, you know, you can guess about teaspoons. Really doesn't make too much difference how much you put in. Oh, we need a 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg. Look at this. I am going to use a measuring device to do a 1/4 teaspoon. Is that? No, that's a 1/2 teaspoon, isn't it? That's a 1/2, so we'll do 1/2 of that. Here it is, here it is. Thank you, Melinda. I can tell you're not going to get me tea now. You were trying to get me nutmeg, and there's no point in that. Oh, man. Yeah, well, alright, so we'll just be guessing here, as always. That's close enough. 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, which means you could just have any old pepper that's been sitting around for a long time. You need about 1 teaspoon. So, of course, you get to guess on that one. Again, it's not going to make too much difference how much you put in there, either. Why don't we just stir that in a little bit. Okay, 1 3/4 cups, 1/2 and 1/2. Alright, so I can see we can do a cup here. Oh, that's 1 big cup, huh? No, that's a cup. And now the 3/4 of a cup is kind of the iffy part. No, actually, I've got a 3/4 measure here. Oh, this is great. I could be reasonably precise. But that, you really need that because that's the liquid. And, you know, you're going to fill up the pumpkin with this liquid. Melinda, did I put any salt in?
Yes, you did. I saw
I put the salt in. Oh, my God. Well, thank heavens we're not putting in double salt. Which, of course, would be horrible. Now, that's enough so that we can seal it up. And then tomorrow, my 4 painter friends down on Willapa Bay, Washington, way far away from here, they will take this and, that's right, pour it into the pumpkin. Now, the pumpkin itself is what we're going to work on now. What else do we need? We need some Gruyere. Oh, we need our baguette, and that's all. So, then, you need to have scooped this out, of course. That's kind of obnoxious. Throw in some toast. That's right, toast points. Probably about enough. And then you throw in some cheese. Cover the toast with the cheese a little bit. Doesn't make too much difference how you do this. Anyway, more toast. I'm being ever so slightly careful, aren't I? More cheese. It just goes back and forth. Okay, now what I'm going to do, which the recipe does not call for, but I'm going to start throwing in some prosciutto. Because I've done this before, and prosciutto really is good in this. And I'm sorry about this packaging they do for me when they slice this stuff up. It's ridiculous. It just completely falls apart on you. Anyway, I'm going to throw that in. Oh yeah, I think 2 pieces, thin pieces per layer might be good. Why not? Some more bread. Some more cheese. You would kind of think that you'd be adding the liquid now, but it really doesn't call for that. Okay, more prosciutto. Now this came out of Ruth's book called Comfort Me with Apples, which is a brilliant cookbook. It is one of our favorite around here. Alright, I like Barefoot in Paris by the Contessa, and I also like, and she's on a lot of those books, and they're all good. I like The Silver Palette. This would be the first one. And my favorite cookbook is Eric Ripert, and Ripert's book is called A Return to Cooking. I don't have it here. I've got it down south, where the girls are going to go and paint. There, huh?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yum.
Mmm. Wait until the juice goes in. All that cream and stuff. We're finishing up this pumpkin, although I just need to finish it by telling you how much you cook it for. How much do you cook it for? 350. Put it on 350, and you gotta put it in there for a good long time. How long? An hour or something? What is it? I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. It's gotta be cooked on the inside, so why don't you just say 3 hours? We will continue with corn casserole in the next installment. Excellent tea, Melinda, excellent.